Hi, it's me, Tom. We have Lindsay here and Bear. He's back there. And we are on the South Shore Line, which is run by the NICTD between South Bend, Indiana and Chicago Millennium Station. We got on at Michigan City, which is in Indiana, not in Michigan. And we got on at 11th Street Station, which is really unique because the train has a straight running section here, and 11th Street Station is in the middle of the street. Like, the sidewalk is the platform.
My fiancée Lindsay, my brother Bear, and myself were going to Chicago to meet my family, and we decided to take the South Shore Line. Coincidentally, this was on April 30th, 2021, which was the very last day that Michigan City 11th Street Station was in operation. Now, the South Shore Line is America's last electric interurban commuter railway line, and it has this unique feature where the trains run straight down the middle of the street in Michigan City. Now, 11th Street Station isn't really even a station. It's just a part of the street where people can get on the train, right here. Well, we thought we had 5 minutes to spare, having just driven 2 hours, but turns out the train ran earlier than we thought, and we had to jump out of our car, run through the parking lot, and climb onto this train just as the doors were closing. So I didn't get a good chance to film this train coming into 11th Street Station, but there were a lot of railfanners available, and we made the train, which is important. This was the very last westbound or Chicago-bound train to leave the street platforms at Michigan City 11th Street, because starting May 1st, this station is no longer being served by the South Shore Line, as they're relocating the tracks away from the street and building a brand new 11th Street Station. Now, 99.9% of the time, I love new infrastructure and station improvements, but I can't help but be sad that this is disappearing. Michigan City 11th Street Station was a one-of-a-kind station, and it's one of the last places in the States where you could get on a passenger train just from the sidewalk of the street. This is the car that brought us to Michigan City, driving right next to our train. We waved goodbye to them.
They'll come back.
Anyways, we didn't have time to purchase our tickets until we climbed on board. Fortunately, by some miracle, the three of us had just enough cash with us to pay the conductor for our tickets, which were about $10 each. The South Shore Line really is an affordable way to get into Chicago. We departed Michigan City a little bit after sunset, and for most of the ride towards Chicago, outside was dark. So let me show you a little bit about the interior of this Nippon Sharyo EMU train that the NICTD uses on its South Shore Line services. Well, first, when the pandemic started, the South Shore Line generated quite a bit of controversy when they introduced mask-optional cars. Learning from that, the South Shore Line is now very strict about social distancing, and when we accidentally sat somewhere that was within 6 feet of another passenger, the conductor quite rudely told us to sit somewhere else. The seats in the South Shore Line have this extraordinary color combination of beige and kind of a teal blue mixed with a brown wooden motif. Despite the unique color palette, the seats were very comfortable. The cushioning was soft, but we had a lot of legroom, and there's plenty of space to store your luggage. In our rail car, there were exactly 2 power outlets, and so when our phones were getting low, we had to sit by one and make sure we could charge our phone. Technically, the trains are Wi-Fi enabled, and that's what I think was in this box right above my seat. Unfortunately, the Wi-Fi didn't work for any of us. Now let's go check the toilet. Each car has a bathroom, which is one of the best things about American trains, is they always have enough bathrooms. They have a red lock button similar to metro trains. That's me. And we're gonna go test the facilities. The toilet has a bioreactor, which means you don't have to worry about your pee ending up on the tracks. There's a charger here, so worst case scenario, we would have charged our phones in the toilet. Not ideal because this was a little bit dirty. Fortunately, the water was running. The soap, not so much. You can plug or unplug the drain. Dryer's working. There's a coat hanger, and there's plenty of space in here. For the most part, the South Shore line runs through the heavily industrialized part of northern Indiana, which is in the central time zone. And for part of the way, we run parallel to the Amtrak tracks, and then from Kensington and 115th Street Station, we join the tracks of the Metra Electric District, which, by the way, is a fantastic railway line that we here at Trains Are Awesome are planning to release a review of soon. The first stop on the Metra Electric line isn't until 63rd Street Station. Towards the end of our 1.5-hour trip, I noticed that the cushion on my seat was ripped. Oh well, it was a comfortable ride nonetheless. For most of the section on the Metra Electric District line, the South Shore line skips the stations. It does stop at a few, and it has an agreement with Metra that says that for Chicago-bound trains, people can only get off the train at these stations, and for Indiana-bound trains, people can only board at these stations. The South Shore line is very popular among rail fans, and I totally understand it. It's a unique railway line. Plus, it's a cheap way to get into Chicago.
Close to Millennium Station, only 2 stops away. How was your South Shore line experience?
Loving the views, even though it's dark.
I know we're pulling into the city, and we're both city people, so the skylines with all the twinkling lights are really cool. Seats are comfy, there's a bathroom, there's exactly 2 power sockets, and it's a train, and I will never complain about a train. How was your South Shore line experience?
That was lovely.
So we made it to Millennium Station. There's a lot of people taking pictures of the train because this was a very special ride. We have to go to O'Hare Airport, so we're going to ride the CTA Blue line. But that's the subject for a later video. We'll see you then.